test. Oh god. Is the game audio at least working?
Anyway, when you start sexy hiking, you're standing next to this dead tree that blocks the way to the entire rest of the game. It might take you an hour to get over that
Okay, it's working. Oh god.
tree, and a lot of people never got past it. You prod and you poke at it, exploring the limits of your reach and your strength, trying to find a way up and over. And there's a sense of truth in that lack of compromise. Most obstacles in video game worlds are fake. You can be completely confident in your ability to get through them once you have the correct method or the correct equipment or just by spending enough time. In that sense, every pixelated obstacle in sexy hiking is real.
I lost so much. On the beginning, when he was talking about how this game was done by done as a big game, and I was talking about how that kind of inspired me to try to work at creating games. Oh, I have watched speedrunners. Thank you, Action. Don't worry, I had watched. But I'm not playing here to speedrun or anything like that. It's one of the type of games that I just want to clear. I don't want anything like, oh, I will get so good at this game, I will speedrun this in 20 seconds, blah blah blah. No, no, no. I can see the charm. I had watched speedruns of this, but it's not something that I want to get great and all. I just want to clear this one time.
The obstacles in sexy hiking are unyielding, and that makes the game uniquely frustrating. But I'm not sure Jazuo intended to make a frustrating game. The frustration is just essential to the act of climbing, and it's authentic to the process of building a game about climbing. A funny thing happened to me as I was building this mountain. I'd have an idea for a new obstacle, and I'd build it, test it, and it would usually turn out to be unreasonably hard. But I couldn't bring myself to make it easier. It already felt like my inability to get past the new obstacle was my fault as a player rather than as a builder. Imaginary mountains build themselves from our efforts to climb them, and it's our repeated attempts to reach the summit that turns those mountains into something real.
I can agree with that. As someone that studied game design and all, it's something that you create something, you test it, if it works, oh, it's too easy. But okay, you design like that. If it's too hard, you blame yourself as a player most of the times. You don't blame yourself as a developer. It's something kind of funny, I must say. But I would say it's an interesting experience. Just like many Mario makers, levels and all, it's hard for the creator, but he keep trying, and keep getting easy. But for every average person, that's just impossible.
When you're building a video game world, you're building with ideas. And that can be like working with quickset cement. You mold your ideas into a certain shape that can be played with, and in the process of playing with them, they begin to harden and set until they're immutable, like rock. And at that point, you can't change the world. Not without breaking it into pieces and starting fresh with new ideas.
Yes, that kind of happens. The more you build a mechanic, a word, anything else, the more solid it is. But when you see the final result, you see that it's not complete or it's defective. So you need to break. But you build it little by little, so you need to break everything. You can't just, oh, I will just remove this and fix this. It does not work because by removing that piece, the other pieces above it, that this piece supporting, breaks apart. Many mechanics on a game is related to another mechanic, gameplay wise.
You've done this part before. You know it's possible. Just do what you did the first time.
That's the interesting part of this game, that at the same time it's infuriating hearing that you have done this, you can do it again. But at the same time, just like the game said on the beginning, starting over again hurts. more than starting over the first time. Even if you think that starting over again is easier. It's frustrating. But that's the interesting part. One thing that I learned on Mario Maker. Repetition gets you better. Yes. But if you think that you succeed something, but you go back to the beginning because you failed the next part, it's easier to reach the same part again. But at the same time, it's frustrating. And I think that some people understand that and other people does not understand that. That's how it feels. Some people get motivated, some people get demotivated. I would say that the most common feeling would be feeling demotivated.
For years now, people have been predicting that games would soon be made out of prefabricated objects, bought in a store and assembled into a world. And for the most part, that hasn't happened, because the objects in the stores are trash. I don't mean they look bad or that they're badly made, although a lot of them are. I mean they're trash in the way that food becomes trash as soon as you put it in the sink. Things are made to be consumed and used in a certain context, and once the moment is gone, they transform into garbage. In the context of technology, those moments pass by in seconds.
As someone that try to create games with assets and all, I can agree and disagree with him. And a lot of assets are literally garbage, just like he said. But at the same time, I would say that the main problem is that when you assemble them, this game either feels incomplete or the game is always does not mix well. Good luck, thank you. That's also a nice way to think. Mario Maker is assembly of pre-assets. 90% of that thing is garbage. But there is the 10% that are incredible. That if you think in a way, that if they really done it by someone that knows programming, everything else.
I raged a lot on this one, but I got it done.
Incredible.
You're a calm person, but you will be tested. Curious to see. Today might be the day the stream becomes less Christian. Joking.
Like I said, I'm a person that played a lot Mario Maker. And I'm kind of proud of myself on that way. It's made me find many incredible things. It made me notice that even if that talent matters in many things, also I thought that as long as you persevere and you can go far. Yes, you go really far. But on the scope of the world, that's also not enough. Many things in life you need also talent and effort. It's not a matter of only be talented or just put in no effort.
Over time, we've poured more and more refuse into this vast digital landfill that we call the internet. It now vastly outnumbers and outweighs the things that are fresh and untainted and unused. When everything around us is cultural trash, trash becomes the new medium, the lingua franca of the digital age. And you can build culture out of trash. But only trash culture. B games, B movies, B music, B philosophy.
I disagree with that. So I can agree that no, I would say that it's hard to make a masterpiece out of trash. It's possible to create a masterpiece, but with trash is harder. The question is just like the creator said, how things transform. Food becomes trash after being eaten.
The vertical wall here has a way of getting harder the more times you try it. I think anger makes you swing the hammer harder, and that can push you away from the wall. Oh, you just lost a lot of progress. That's a deep frustration, a real punch in the gut.
I would say that it's not a lot progress yet, but I can see how losing progress feels.
Maybe this is what digital culture is. A monstrous mountain of trash, the ash heap of creativity's fountain. A landfill with everything we ever thought of in it. Grand, infinite, and unsorted.
Nah, I kinda disagree with that statement.
There's 3D models of breakfast, Gen X's fanfic novels, scan magazines, green screen Shia LaBeouf, banned snuff scenes on LiveLeak. Facebook's got lifelike bots with unbranded adverts and candid shots of Kanye and Taylor Swift mashups, car crash epic failed GIFs, Russian dashcam vids, discussions of McRibs, discarded, forgotten, unrecycled, muddled, rotten, untitled.
This is profound in a way that it works even today. That's the funny fact.
Everything's fresh for about 6 seconds, until some newer thing beckons, and we hit refresh. And there's years of persevering, disappearing into the pile, out of style, out of sight. In this context, it's tempting to make friendly content that's gentle, that lets you churn through it but not earn it. Why make something demanding if it just gets piled up in the landfill, filed in with the bland things?
Both can happen. To be fair, if it's too easy, there is no challenge, there is no white play. Too easy, everyone can do it. If it's too hard, nobody can do it. An elite can do it. Only professional can do it. It's like soccer or football, how we call here. Professionals, they are the opposite. Only they can play professional games and all. But it's fun also to play with friends and all. Where is the line? Really hard to tell.
Oof, sorry about that. Oh, it happened again. Keep on trying, don't let it get to you. This thing that we call failure is not the falling down, but the staying down. Mary Pickford. The soul would have no rainbow, had the eyes no tears. John Vance Cheney. The pain I feel now is the happiness I had before. That's the deal. C.S. Lewis. You're back here again, showing patience, and then attacking, scraping, then flapping and snagging. When games were new, they wanted a lot from you. Daunting you, taunting you, resetting and delaying you. Players played stoically. Now everyone's turned off by that. They want to burn through it quickly, a quick fix for the fickle, some tricks for the clicks of the feckless. But that's not you, you're an acrobat. You could swallow a baseball bat.
I can see. And nowadays I would say, yes, it's all click, it's all fast. I don't think it's a generation of problem, but I would say that it's more like how things developed with time.
I feel within me a peace above all earthly dignities, a still and quiet conscience. William Shakespeare. You'll be back here again and again. Avenge and repent until you've ascended, or until you're contented. You cannot now believe that you will ever feel better. But this is not true. You're sure to be happy again, and knowing this, truly believing it, will make you less miserable now. Abraham Lincoln.
I don't know, this mentality is good and all. You know that better days are to come.
Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. Mary Fry.
Oh,
To live is to suffer. To survive is to find some meaning in the suffering. Friedrich Nietzsche.
I understand this, that suffering can, I would say grow, but at the same time, grow is not the correct answer. I would say transform the people. And if that's better or worse, that's a good question. Most people will say, oh, grow, be positive and all, but it's not always the case.
Life is a mosaic of pleasure and pain. Grief is an interval between two moments of joy. Peace is the interlude between two wars. You have no rose without a thorn. The diligent picker will avoid the pricks and gather the flower. Satya Sai Baba. Sorrow is my own yard, where the new grass flames as it has flamed often before, but not with the cold fire that closes round me this year. William Carlos Williams. Of all sad words of tongue or pen, the saddest are these. It might have been. John Greenleaf Whittier. If you try to please audiences, uncritically accepting their tastes, it can only mean that you have no respect for them. Andrei Tarkovsky.
And I must say that what happens with many creators, they always go for clickbait. They go where the audience is, and they don't respect their audience. There is many people that respect it, but there is always many and many others that does not. I don't understand why people like to see other people disrespecting others, but they don't want to be disrespected and selfish. A sense of superiority, a sense of mess, staying with everyone. Hard to tell.
Now I know, most likely you're watching this on YouTube or Twitch, while some dude with 10 million views does it for you, like a baby bird being fed chewed up food. That's culture too.
That's culture, but you were wrong. I mean, I'm the one that is playing. But culture or community, that's a different word. A community can become a culture. A culture is a community. No.
But on the off chance that you're playing this, what I'm saying is, trash is disposable, but maybe it doesn't have to be approachable. What's the feeling like? Are you stressed? I guess you don't hate it if you got this far. Feeling frustrated? It's underrated.
Being frustrated is underrated. Hard to tell. You could say that all haters in the world are frustrated in a way or another. That's underrated? I don't know. But I can agree that the society by itself, we kind of wants to not see.
An orange is sweet, juicy fruit locked inside a bitter peel. That's not how I feel about a challenge. I only want the bitterness. It's coffee. It's grapefruit. It's licorice.
I agree. As someone that like tea, coffee, and many things that are kind of bitter, I can see the going after the bitterness. But at the same time, I don't think sweet is bad. I don't think looking at other things are wrong or I should unlike bitterness. It's just that I create a taste for that.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. Iced tea. When to the sessions of sweet silent thought, I summon up remembrance of things past, I sigh the lack of many a thing I sought, and with old woes new, wail my dear time's waste. William Shakespeare, Sonnet 30. Patience is the foundation of eternal peace. Make anger your enemy. Harm comes to those who know only victory and do not know defeat. Find fault with yourself and not with others. It's in falling short of your own goals that you'll surpass those who exceed theirs. Tokugawa Ieyasu.
That is really interesting. Fun fact that it was made by a general Japanese. You can use the anger as a motivation, but at the same time it is just blind. It works on the short term, but it does not work on the grand, on the macro scale, you could say.
She smiled in defeat with unconquerable eyes. Atticus.
If it's a true smile, the question is, did she really got defeat? On the game, on the stage, she lost? Yes. But for her goal, she lost? Probably not. After all, the goal and the winning condition is not the same. In a game, on life.
Your failure here is a metaphor. To learn for what, please resume climbing. Rob Dubbin.
And that is something interesting. You don't know what's the goal. So why are you fighting? Are you fighting for the right thing? The wrong thing? Is there a right thing? Why are you climbing? There a reason? The motivation? The life choice? Obligation?
Laugh and the world laughs with you. Weep and you weep alone. For the sad old earth must borrow its mirth, but has trouble enough of its own. Ella Weaver Wilcox.
This happens because in a way, everyone is just looking for something to be happy. If you are loving, you are happy. While you are happy, maybe I will find happiness, so I will love together. If you are crying, I will not cry together with you. I don't want to be sad. People instinctively always looks for something that makes them happy. Some people try to be sad and out to bring pity of the others. Yes, but that's a happiness on itself, you could say. I don't know.
Better by far that you should forget and smile than you should remember and be sad. Christina Rossetti.
It's hard. You should act like that, but can you always?
Something filled up my heart with nothing. Someone told me not to cry. Now that I'm older, my heart's colder. I can see that it's a lie. The Arcade Fire. I stand amid the roar of a surf-tormented shore, and I hold within my hand grains of the golden sand. How few, yet how they creep through my fingers to the deep, while I weep. Oh God, can I not grasp them with a tighter clasp? Can I not save one from the pitiless wave? Is all that we see or seem but a dream within a dream? Edgar Allan Poe.
Well, it's the common struggle. Nothing special, but at the same time, painful.
Can I see another's woe and not be in sorrow too? Can I see another's grief and not seek for kind relief? William Blake.
I don't know. Empathy works like that, but at the same time, I'll explain that it's not really empathy, you could say at the same time.
In the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take. Lewis Carroll.
No, we also regret choices that we made. I totally disagree with that. Maybe we regret more the choices that we didn't made. That I don't know.
Our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. William Shakespeare, Measure for Measure.
I don't like backseat gaming, but the way is up. Keep going, my man.
There are no regrets in life, just lessons. Jennifer Aniston.
No, we can have regret, but at the same time learn. Hard, maybe, but I think it's possible.
Hang in there. Don't let it get to you. But also, let it get you a little bit.
That's what always happens. Don't worry. You should not let this get you, for you to not lose hope, but you should let this get you for you to learn.
Pain has an element of blank. It cannot recollect when it began, or if there were a day when it was not. It has no future but itself. Its infinite realms contain its past, enlightened to perceive new periods of pain. Emily Dickinson. Oft expectation fails, and most oft where most it promises, and oft it hits where hope is coldest and despair most sits. William Shakespeare, All's Well That Ends Well. Even as the stone of the fruit must break, that its heart may stand in the sun, so must you know pain. And could you keep your heart in wonder at the daily miracles of your life, your pain would not seem less wondrous than your joy. Khalil Gibran.
That's strange. The fact that you need struggles is a fact in your life, but at the same time, you need to have a happy life.
This is the hour of lead, remembered if outlived, as freezing persons recollect the snow, first chill, then stupor, then the letting go. Emily Dickinson. I feel your pain. The pain in knowing this has happened to you. The pain in knowing what more tears we've gained. But through all this, I feel your pain. Octavia Hawkins Richardson. I'm crushing your dreams and dashing your hopes. You're climbing a mountain with a hammer and no ropes.
Yeah, that's what people do. They destroy each other's hope. Do they think like that? Probably not.
The mountain seems no more a soulless thing, but rather as a shape of ancient fear, in darkness and the winds of chaos born, amid the lordless heavens thundering, a presence crouched, enormous and austere, before whose feet the mighty waters mourn. George Sterling. I'm gonna let you be for a little bit.
That's true because we have emotions, and what's the drive for us to do something after we have the basic needs done? You know what? Let's start from the beginning. It's so interesting how this game is way more acceptable when you keep hearing his voice, even though he's annoying many times.
It feels like we're closer now. Composer and climber, designer and user. You could have refused, but you didn't. There was something in you that was hidden, that chose to continue. It means a lot to me that you've come this far, endured this much. Every wisecrack, every insensitivity,
Samina mina mina.
every setback you've forgiven me is a kingly gift that you've
Samina
given
mina
me.
mina It's time for Africa.
That was a bad time for TTS.
We have the same taste, you and I. It's not ambition.
Snake hype.
It's ambition's opposite. An obdurate mission to taste defeat. You'll feel bad if you win, so I put this snake in for you. This gets more frightening each time you return. Knuckles whitening, stomach tightening. Once bitten, so many times burned. This is the hour of lead, remembered if outlived, as freezing persons recollect the snow. First chill, then stupor, then the letting go. Emily Dickinson. You fell from above, but I know you won't linger here. Your hammer's no longer, your jump is no stronger, but your hunger will tell. I feel your pain. The pain in knowing this has happened to you. The pain in knowing what more tears we've gained. But through all this, I feel your pain. Octavia Hawkins Richardson. Have you thought about who you are in this? Are you the man in the pot, Diogenes? Are you his hand? Are you the top of his hammer? I think not. Where your hand moves, the hammer may not follow, nor the man, nor the man's hand. In this you're his will, his intent, the embodied resolve in his uphill ascent. The first time you got here, you thought you were safe. A base camp for reaching the summit. That's how it seemed on its face the first time, but your face can fall fast when you plummet. Now, you've conquered the ice cliff, the platforms, the church, and the rectory, the living room and the factory, the playground, the construction site, the granite rocks, and the lakeside. You've learned to hike. There's no way left to go but up, and in a moment I'll shut up. But let me say, I'm glad you came. I dedicate this game to you, the one who came this far. I give it to you with all my love.
Ah, yes! We did it.